Hi guys, Artie here, and there's been a bunch of updates on June 12th regarding upcoming Cartoon Network series after a few years of just silence and rumors. At the Annecy Animation Film Festival, Warner Bros. Discovery unveiled dozens of projects in development. Most notably, an untitled regular show spin-off that is projected to be released in 2025 at the earliest. Let's start out with CN Studios and Hanna Barbera Europe Productions. From what I could gather, this new Greenlit regular show spin-off is going to be an entirely new series that will feature a few characters from the original series. I wonder what this could be. It's unlikely that it will be the 25 years later sequel, since that has all the original characters in it except for Pops, who died in the finale. I hope this isn't the only reason why they're actually airing reruns again after pretending the series didn't exist from 2017 until 2022. The original creator, J.G. Quintel, is involved, so hopefully this won't be one of those spin-offs, like the Cleveland Show. To be honest, the Cleveland Show is actually a guilty pleasure of mine. It doesn't stop just there. An Adventure Time prequel series titled Side Quests has been greenlit and will be about Finn in his younger years and his best friend Jake going on epic journeys just like the old days. This prequel will be more episodic rather than story-driven and aimed at a slightly younger audience, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as it is the most popular 2010s Cartoon Network original. If you don't believe me, there's even an Adventure Time movie currently in development at CN Studios. Yes, the Adventure Time movie that was confirmed all the way back in 2015. Better late than never, I suppose. There's very few details about this upcoming film, other than Finn and Jake engage on their greatest adventure yet. It is also unknown whether this will be a theatrical release, or it will be direct to streaming. If this actually manages to make its way to theaters, it would be the second Cartoon Network movie to get a theatrical release since the Powerpuff Girls movie in 2002. And no, Teen Titans Go to the Movies does not count, since that's Warner Bros. Animation. For the last confirmed show on the Cartoon Network slate is The Amazing World of Gumball Season 7. There is actually quite a bit of info about this one. The first episode is titled The Burger and will be a health-oriented episode about the food industry. Sit tight, because this new season will not be premiering until 2025 or 2026. The show will continue right where it left off in 2019 presumably, or Gumball and Darwin could be aged up as teenagers, I'm not entirely sure. If you were wondering about the Gumball movie, it's in a state of limbo in development hell. They reworked the concept of What's in the Void into a Season 7 episode, and it will continue from where it left off. The creative team decided to change the concept for the movie and go for something entirely new, so it's technically still happening. No planned release date yet, and anything can change. Now let's move on to preschool content in the works, with the majority of them being produced by HB Europe. I'm confused to why as they're moving forward with preschool content, despite WBD making Jessica's World only one season, and cutting down Cartoonito to only an hour on weekdays. First up is Foster's Funtime for Imaginary Friends, which is actually greenlit and is being produced by HB Studios Europe, the same studio behind The Amazing World of Gumball. The only characters from the OG series returning are Blue and Madam Foster. Even though Craig McCracken is involved, I still believe this just won't work, and it seems kind of dumb. Take this prediction with a grain of salt, since it's not out yet obviously, and we won't know until it's released. The second preschool show announced is another Adventure Time spin-off from CN Studios, that being Heyo Bimo, which will be animated in CGI. There's not much more information on this spin-off, however, I think this one will fare better than the Foster's Home preschool show. I'm probably gonna watch neither of them, since I've outgrown them honestly. The third and last preschool show is an untitled series based on the children's book, Barbara Throws a Wobbler, which will be produced by HB Studios Europe and will be a 2D animated show. Finally one that's actually original and not a spin-off or based on a pre-existing property. Sure, it's based on a book, but tons of shows and movies are, right? Now switching gears to Warner Bros. Animation Projects, the first one announced is a new Scooby-Doo show, but this time around it will take place in Japan under the title Go Go Mystery Machine. You know what? I like the idea of changing the settings of these classic cartoons. It's a good change of pace, kind of like what they did with Tom and Jerry Singapore. You can only do so much with these franchises that are nearly a century old. Second project is Lovey, Dovey, an adult animated show about a dove trying to find true love, who ends up getting stuck with a flock of street pigeons that use him as a punching bag and prevent him from his career on a popular kids TV show. Interesting premise, and it seems far more promising than Royal Crackers. I wonder what the final product will look like. Lastly, Bad Karma, a family movie set in a fantasy mythological world, is in development. There is very little known about this one, other than it will be India-oriented. On the Adult Swim side of things, don't think I forgot about them. Quite a few shows got picked up as well. Haha, you clowns. Oh my god, yes. Get Giro and Supermutant Magic Academy have all been officially picked up for a series, with the first one being an Adult Swim small short and the first one so far to get picked up as a series. Also, it turns out Invincible Fight Girl is happening, but it will be moved to Adult Swim, just like what happened with My Adventures with Superman, as it was originally supposed to premiere on Cartoon Network. In addition, that show has also been renewed for a third season. So a couple of weeks ago, Chorus accidentally spoiled that Invincible Fight Girl would be premiering on Adult Swim Canada when announcing their slate for the 2024-2025 television season. Some people predicted that the show would end up being moved to Adult Swim, and it turns out they were right after all. Last but not certainly least, Smiling Friends has been renewed for a season 3. I'm not surprised, especially since the show has been #1 most watched on Max for a while now, and has been insanely popular online. It's basically how popular Rick and Morty was in the mid-2010s, but without people climbing on top of the counters at McDonald's and shouting for Szechuan sauce. I saved the acquired shows category for last, since there's only one show, which is Totally Spies Season 7. It was even renewed for a Season 8, even though the 7th season hasn't even aired in the US yet, and most countries for that matter. Anyways, Season 7 is officially planned to air globally across WBD networks later in 2024. I have a feeling it will be on Cartoon Network, since the Total Drama Island revival ended up airing on there and not Adult Swim, so we'll have to wait and see. In summary, there's dozens of projects finally on the way from various studios owned by Warner Bros. Discovery. I knew they were eventually going to announce some new shows and movies. They can only go so far with the currently running content, because they've been stagnant since around 2021, mainly because of the Warner Bros. Discovery merger in restructuring and disrupting everything, but at least they have finally settled and new productions are on the way, even though half of them are reboots and spin-offs. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. Which upcoming project are you looking forward to the most and why? Let me know in the comments.